Hello, everybody. You're there. We're here. Welcome to I have no idea.
We got it wrong last week.
I know we got it wrong last week, and then I got it right, and because when I put it onto Spotify, I can actually see. But now I have no idea.
I feel like we're at 39.
I also feel like we're at 39.
So we'll say 39.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Menti Breaky Epi 3090.
And if not, our bad.
I was thinking, should we do some kind of intro each time as to who we are or what this is?
Oh, I mean, okay.
I don't know. Because people keep saying to me, well, I guess some men that just watch the clips, they're like, you guys need a man on the podcast because all you do is hate men. I'm like, we don't hate men.
We literally talk about men nonstop.
But the whole not the whole premise, but part of the premise of this show is that we like men too much.
Yeah, I guess the intro is we're Hanny and Monty. We're Menti Breaky Queens.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of pathetic things in our life, and many of those things have been for men. These are our stories.
And these are these are our stories.
That's the Law and Order.
Menti and Order. Menti and Breaky.
Breaky and Order.
Yeah, because I this podcast is really not really focused on men. It's focused on us and our community.
Yes.
And being sometimes we're pathetic, but we're still cool.
That's so annoying that men say we should have a man on the podcast. I hate that.
That's classic of men. Well, they also just want to be on the podcast.
That's true.
And so they're like, you should have a man. Guess
Literally
what?
Everyone that's been like, can I be on your podcast has been a man.
Yeah, that's true.
Because all the girls are like, oh, if they wanted me, they would ask me.
Yeah.
And men are just like, so when are you going to have me on?
Yeah.
I'm like, never.
Well, also the girls are like, oh, I actually just like this podcast. Or I don't listen to the podcast. As such, I wouldn't ask to be on the podcast because I don't know what the podcast is. Whereas men are like, yo, I saw 10 seconds of your clip. Have me interview me.
Yes. Yeah, they're all like, I can't wait to be your first guest. I'm so interesting.
Yeah.
And we're like, you're not.
I'm so interested in being your first guest. And I'm like, well, that's one of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we'll think of what, or maybe not. This podcast is just whatever we want it to be.
I know, we will potentially have guests one day, but right now it's just me and Monty having mental breakdowns.
Okay, we should also, if we do an intro, talk about something about how we're stand-up comics too.
Two stand-up
comedy gals trying their best.
Yep.
I'm warm. Are you warm?
It's kind of warm.
Okay, whatever. We're just gonna move on. So I did a show at Othership, a comedy show at Othership. Everyone was so interested in this. They're like, what are you talking about that you're doing a show in a sauna?
When I did it, I got a lot of people.
A lot of questions.
A lot of feedback. Me and Monica have both done this comedy show that takes place
in a sauna.
But also there's cold plunges there. That's the whole point of the business is you cold plunge and then you go to the sauna and you go back and forth. And then you pay them close to $1 billion,
right?
And then you are a better person.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very culty.
It's so culty. Well, it's attached to because when I was there, I asked them. I was like, "Are you guys affiliated with Jaybird, which is one of the sexy girl Pilates classes that we occasionally go to, where we have to work out in the dark, and then they give you a candle, and they're like, rebirth and blah blah blah, blast your ass." And they said, yeah, it's a brother sister that created both company. I'm like, makes sense.
Oh yeah, they really know how to create a cult.
It's all marketing.
Yeah,
because one of them is just a sauna you work out in, and the other is a sauna you sit in, and then you occasionally go into an ice bath, and you pay an absorbent. No,
neither of those were right.
A large amount of money.
Well, also they really create a community, which I find today is very hard to do because I feel like back in the day, just community-based places were such bigger things. People would hang out at the church or the synagogue or the Legion or
people are desperate for a cult.
People are really desperate for a cult or just a community, but it's we don't really community anymore. Like where is there a place where you just go and you
especially and people are like encouraging.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're cheering you on for sitting in water, or like F45, which is also right beside these two businesses where we go. F45 cult.
Yeah.
Huge cult.
Yeah.
That's a word. That's just a gym.
Yeah.
It's just a gym where again you pay $1,000 per session.
Yeah.
And then people are like, you can do it.
Right.
And they're like, come back tomorrow.
No, that's the joke I made because the girl who worked at Other Ship, who was like miking me up, like she put my mic on. She was like, you're gonna do so great and you're gonna do amazing and you're gonna have the best set. And I go in and I was like, everyone's so encouraging here. Like the girl putting my mic on was like, you're gonna do amazing. And I'm like, you don't fucking know me. Like I might not, you know? But no, I was actually talking to my friend who goes to Other Ship. And he was like, sometimes I'll go on like a Friday or Saturday night because it's like a way to go out, like not drinking based.
No, it's like lit there.
Yeah.
It's like an actual party.
Yeah. Well, they had these cards. I don't know if you saw them, but it would be a card and it was like my name, how to reach me. So I guess it's like if you're in, because you don't have your phone, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in there and you meet someone and you want to like give them your number or whatever.
But that's what I thought. Like when I went in, I was like, oh, people come here to hook up. Because all the girls, again, were in lingerie.
Well, bathing
and they're
suits,
like, barely a bathing suit anymore.
Lots
at this
of thong
point. It's like a string
suits.
up their ass and then like two little triangles on their boobs. And they're like doing like yoga in the sauna. And I'm like, you're not trying to do yoga right now. You're trying to shove your ass in a guy's face.
Yeah.
Which is like fine. I'm like, yeah, good for you. Obviously do it. But I'm like, they're trying to get laid.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So the show in the sauna, basically like, I guess because the actual timing, I think, of like a hot and cold wellness, whatever, is like 20 minutes sauna and then like your 2-minute ice bath. And then you like chill for 10 minutes, I think is like kind of the formula. So anyways, what they would do is like we would each do comedy for 10 minutes because if you do more than 10 minutes, you're going to pass out doing comedy. And then the crowd would sit there for 2 sets. So like 20 minutes. And then they would all get up and like do their ice baths.
Yeah.
So it was sold out.
Yeah,
and there was a 20-person wait list.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There were 75 people in that sauna.
Yes, yeah.
And then I go in and like you stand on the first level or whatever. Because I didn't stand on the ground because I guess then you can't see people. But you stand on and it's black in the sauna except for like that really bright spotlight on you. Yeah. And then you just do comedy in a sauna while everyone's saunaing. And I was like, hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
75 people in that sauna.
Yeah, it was packed out.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it's so funny because the producers were telling me, like, when they were first on a phone call discussing the concept, and they were like, do you guys want to try, like, a comedy show here? And they're like, yeah, so cool, whatever. Immediately when they hung up the phone, they were like, this is never going to work.
That's so funny.
This is not going to happen. And then it's, like, sold out, basically, every time.
People go back. They love it.
Yeah.
But it is, like... You also do have to do like sauna-based comedy.
You do have to do sauna-based
because
comedy.
I tried one that I was like, oh, this is a little edgier, and they like didn't.
They didn't like the edgy. No,
but then anything that was around like working out or like whatever, love or the actual sauna itself, they were like loving.
Yeah, anything that was like a little on the dark side, like my joke about getting hit by a car.
Yeah, they were like, we're in a sauna right now.
Well, they were like, we're in a sauna and we're like healthy people.
Yes.
Like we can't relate. Like we eat apples and broccoli.
Yeah. But then I did any joke about Jaybird.
Yeah.
And like my experiences there, they were like dying.
Yeah, like they liked my therapy stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And then I was just like, yeah, did anyone else go in the cold plunge and just scream "fuck my ex"?
That's
in their
so
head?
funny. I was like, I got out. I was like, is anyone's vagina still freezing? Because it's the last part of me that's warm. I was like, if anyone has a tampon in, it's a popsicle at this point.
By the end though of like I think I ended up doing like 11 to 12 minutes. By the end of my set, I was kind of losing it. I don't know if you were, but like I was like really warm.
Yeah, no. I was
dripping sweat.
In sweat.
Yeah.
But that was me and the other guy, Chris Robinson. He wanted to get a sweat on and he kept going back into the sauna. He's like, I can't get a sweat on. after his set, drenched.
Yeah.
Because you're like
moving. Yeah.
And also just like energy
Thinking.
is being put out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drenched in sweat. And we're like, well, you got your sweat on.
I know. I was watching the guy after me and he's like, I don't remember my joke.
No.
I'm in a sauna.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then
it was so hard to like think by the end.
Yeah, and then this one girl near the end of my set heckled me, and it was like the best thing because it just kind of like brought me like back to life because I was like, oh, like human interaction, and then I could like get, and everyone's like, oh my god, she heckled you, like blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, it was actually good.
Yeah.
It was,
You're
yeah.
like,
And it wasn't like a heckle. Like, it was like a nice, friendly, like, little thing. But, you know, they're all healthy there. So we had the option, which you did too, of, like, utilizing the ice baths, like, doing the sauna ice bath as a performer. So I went in the ice bath, and, like, I loved it.
Yay.
Like, I've kind of ice bath before, but I just sat in there calmly for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Good for you.
And everyone was like, there's something wrong with you because all the men were going in.
But that was the same with me. I went in longer than all the men.
Same. And then, okay, one guy on the show, he was like, I have this theory that women can just like have a higher pain tolerance. And I was like, I wonder where that theory came from.
From science?
Yeah, from literal science. Like, I've literally had my vagina waxed. I can sit in a fucking cold bath. Like, grow up.
Yeah. That when I was in there, I was just like looking at the clock. I'm like, you can do 10 more seconds.
Yeah,
you can do 10 more
that's
seconds.
That's how I felt too. Yeah,
and all the men stayed in way shorter,
and they were all like screaming and like having a whole panic attack. And I'm like, literally, it's cold water. Like literally, life is more painful than this.
Do you think it's because you've changed since the last time you've done an ice bath?
Well, I think the last time I've never like tried. Like, I've never tried to, like, sit in there for a long time. I just, like, went in. And I also think you have to get past the first 20 seconds.
The first bit is horrid.
Yeah. But then also, I dunked my head right at the beginning for the second two, and that helped a lot.
Dunked. Did you go up with dunked hair?
No, I went in after my set.
Oh, you didn't go before? No. Oh, no, I didn't either. I kind of... Actually... No, I did go in before, but it was like very quick.
Yeah.
And then after I did the actual plunges, you dunked your head. Oh, I didn't dunk my head.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were supposed to.
No, that's good.
But then I heard you are, and I think it helps your body like normalize the temperature if you dunk your head too.
Yeah,
but then I got water up my nose, so I was like coughing for the first like 30 seconds of my ice bath.
Oh, that's horrible.
But it was fine.
Yeah, I just don't like getting my hair wet.
Yeah.
I'm not dunking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the men are babies.
Men are babies, and if you go to the other ship at Yorkville, let me know if you can beat 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, people can, but like then you're like, what are you doing?
Well, that's what the producer of the show said. He said my friend came in and did 7 minutes in the ice bath.
Yes.
And then afterwards he was like, they went out for dinner and he was still shaky.
That's what he told me too. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you just have hypothermia.
It was the when I did it, because here's the other thing. Is I was like standing in it and like dunking and standing and dunking, and then I like finally did it, and that time I was like really cold after because I was like, I guess I did longer than 2 minutes because I wasn't actually giving myself time to warm up.
Right.
So I was standing dunking, and then I did my like minute 30 or whatever, and then I got out, and I was like, that time I was like, it's actually taking me a long time to warm up now.
Yeah.
Like I am like because my legs were in the whole time.
Yeah.
So whatever that ended up being 5 minutes or whatever, I was like, my legs are numb.
Yeah. Well, I was saying I could see people getting really hurt here because it's like a lot of like competitive finance bros. So it's like instead of like trying to out drink each other, they're trying to out ice bath each other. And then like someone's going to get hurt. Like someone's going to get literal hypothermia. Yeah. It's like two finance bros in the hospital, like one of them drank too much, the other has hypothermia from an ice bath.
Yeah, it is odd that you can just like have this.
Yeah.
And people like are just like, okay, at your own risk.
Yeah, because I guess usually they like have people walking around.
I guess, but even still.
Yeah, you can't like track every person. Because when I did the ice bath, everyone was in the sauna watching the comedy show. Yeah. Including the owners. So I was just sitting in the ice bath like by myself.
Yeah.
And then the producer walked over being like, how fucking long have you been sitting in this ice bath by yourself?
You're like 20 minutes.
And I was so calm. I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, why are you so calm?
Yeah, that's kind of odd now that I'm thinking of it. Like someone could just like get hurt.
Yeah. Do you think there's health benefits to the ice bath and
I
the sauna?
don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone says. I'm sure they're mentally, of course.
Yes.
Because you're completing a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a small goal. You achieve it. Yay.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Yeah.
But like everything, when people are like, oh, they do the I don't know. I don't know how much of it is total placebo effect.
My thing is like, I liked the ice bath because I literally could not think my thoughts because I was just focused on like breathing and being cold. So it's like my brain actually had a break. And that actually felt good. Like afterwards, like it was like my brain was like, thanks. I kind of
feel that way when I'm like pushing myself in the sauna too.
Right.
Because like at a certain point I'm just like, just focus on your breathing. Like I'm really, getting super hot, but like, and you are kind of like letting go of your thoughts still.
Overall, good experience, but cannot do comedy in a sauna for over 10 to 12 minutes.
No.
Would pass out. And just like sweating, talking about cum jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next topic. I was on the dating apps, and this guy, his opening line to me.
Opening line
was, well, first it was, hey, Monica, really excited to match with you, which I always find to be like kind of a strange.
That's odd.
But I've actually gotten that a lot recently, where guys are like,
I'm really excited to match with
really
you.
glad to match with you.
Okay.
Or like, thanks for the match.
Oh.
Which is weird.
I don't like that.
Just be like, hey.
Yeah, hey's good.
Well, hey, what's up? I don't think it's that complicated, you know? Anyways, so he goes, hey, Monica, excited to match with you. Next paragraph. It's still the same message, but he like pressed enter within the.
You're doing too much.
Yeah. And then he wrote, if you could be any bird, which bird would you be? And I was like, weird fucking question.
Well, they're just trying so hard.
I know. I'm like, not going to respond to that. But then.
That's funny.
But then, like, I have not stopped thinking about what bird I would be. Because it's like in the Notebook, they say if you're a bird, I'm a bird, but they don't specify the bird. What bird would you be if you could be any bird?
I know what bird I'd be.
What bird would you be?
A penguin.
Oh, yeah. That's a nice answer. Because then you, like, find your mate.
They mate for life.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with penguins.
People are obsessed with penguins,
I started it. Okay. Like, I know penguins became they started trending.
Yeah.
I ask any of my family members, I liked penguins before they were trending.
Interesting. Why?
Because I had a stuffed penguin, and it was like my oldest stuffed animal.
Oh.
And so I loved him so much, and then I just started loving penguins.
I see.
And I watched March of the Penguins.
Okay.
And then what was Happy Feet came out. See, it started around March of the Penguins, Happy Feet.
Yeah.
That's when penguins were trending.
Happy Feet for sure.
Honey, I was on the penguins long before those movies.
Wow, okay.
Since the 1990, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's quite a time.
Yeah, that's quite a time. I would give you that. Yeah. Okay, so you started penguin trend.
Yeah, and they're just like cute.
Yeah. Should I say that to him? Like, penguin because they mate for life and they never cheat.
They never cheat.
They're not pieces of shit.
And they'll like give each other a stone for their nest.
Yeah.
That's how a boy they don't do a dance. Aww. They like roll a pretty stone over to the girl and she's like, "Oh, this one's nice." And she like puts it in her nest.
Aww.
But then some boys will like steal stones from other nests and then like give them to their girl.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, nice." And then the other girl's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Yeah, they get like they'll be stealing each other's stones.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I saw a video about this, and then they started fighting. Then they seem to be having fun.
Yeah. They seem to be enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
They
you
can't
ever see
fly.
those videos of them like knocking each other over?
Yeah.
Love that.
They go in like big groups too.
They cannot fly.
No.
And I kind of like love that about them.
Yeah.
That they're like, I actually am still a bird and I don't need to fly.
Yeah, like fuck you.
Yeah, and everyone's like, you're a bird, aren't you gonna fly? And they're like, no.
They're like, fuck your beauty standards.
Yes.
Fuck your productivity standards. We're just gonna chill.
Yeah. They're like, I'm good, actually.
They swim, right?
Oh, they swim very well.
Yeah.
They can hold their breath, if I'm correct, I believe for 9 minutes at a time.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I remember it's around 9-10 minutes, I believe.
What do they eat?
Fish. They love a fish.
What eats them? Anything?
Seals.
Oh.
Seal. I know all the penguin facts.
Yeah.
I'm like going back to being 5 years old and learning this.
See, it's actually not that bad of a question.
No.
An opening question. Because I have thought about it every day.
If you're an interesting person. Because now I want to... Well, what's your answer?
Yeah. That's what my friend was saying, was like, what if his answer is like a really basic bird?
Exactly. An eagle.
Yeah, like, shut the fuck up.
You say eagle, I'm done.
Yeah. So my answer that I finally decided on was a magpie.
Oh, that's great.
Because magpies hold grudges.
You give hard magpie energy.
I do, right? Yeah. So a magpie.
I've been attacked by a magpie.
If you fuck with a magpie, a magpie tells all of their friends and all of their family, and they pass on the grudge to their kids.
Really?
So it's like, if you fuck with a magpie in a park, I've heard of people not being able to go back to that park.
Like ever.
Because if you go back to the park, a group of magpies, like the girl or guy or they and all of their friends are going to attack you.
Yeah.
And I like that. Like, they stand by each other. Yeah. And they're like, we don't like this cunt.
Yeah, you're big on grudges. And but taking on other people's as well.
Oh,
if someone's like, I've been hurt by this person, and you're like, I'll hate them forever.
I love taking on a grudge. It's just a fun thing to do, you know? I don't take on the grudge to that person's face. Like, it's like, you know, you didn't do anything to me, but it's like I'll back my friend, you know? And I'll be like, yeah, fuck you.
You actually can't come to this park anymore.
Yeah, you can't come to this park anymore because we're all bonded.
Is there any other? Well, they also attack people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah. I don't mind it, but I don't think I can answer. I don't think I can say that on Hinge.
Yeah, I mean, that's not like the answer any guy wants to hear.
No.
They want you to be like, a hummingbird.
Yeah, they want you to be like, a blue jay, because I love the color blue.
Oh, you know what every basic girl says?
What?
Sparrow, because they fly home. They're right? Sparrow?
I don't know. Are you talking about a pigeon?
No.
A carrier pigeon? Sparrow.
There's because it was on The Bachelorette once.
Oh.
She had sparrows, I believe, tattooed on her. She's like, it's the only bird that flies home. Or something like that. And I was like, that's such a basic girl answer.
That is. Okay, fly the fuck home.
Yeah.
See what I care. I'm busy attacking people in a park.
Yeah, I'm too busy sliding down an iceberg.
Yeah.
For your bullshit. I was attacked by a magpie.
What happened?
It's in Australia. I think I must have gotten too close to its nest. I didn't do anything. But when I lived on the farm, we were like in the middle of nowhere, and I would go on long ass hikes. And I always kind of wanted to be attacked by a magpie because that's like such an Australian experience.
Oh, okay.
That's like what you do when you're there. You get attacked by magpies.
Okay.
And I hadn't been. And then one day I was like so far, and it was in the spring.
Yeah.
And I was walking back to the thing, and a bird started swooping really close to me, and I was like, I'm getting attacked by a magpie.
Oh.
I legit had to run. And I was yelling the whole time. I was like, I'm sorry. Because I think the nest must have been nearby. I was like, I'm not a threat.
Yeah.
And eventually I got far enough away that it stopped swooping at me.
What happens if you don't run?
You, like, there's videos, blood. They literally will take a chunk out of you. Yeah, they're like hitting your head.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. The park people.
Yeah.
And it's not like you've done anything. The discretion is you just got too close to their nest. And they're like, I actually hate you.
Oh.
And then they'll just attack you. Oh, because some people will do it. They'll be like, I'm going to the famous park where, everyone gets attacked by a magpie. And then you'll see them on their bike and they're like, and there's just birds like. That's great. Look up magpie videos. They're great. That's Monica.
That's me.
Monica just swooping at people.
I love that. I was just thinking, this episode is going to come out on Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that weird?
Merry Christmas. Should we not release it on Christmas?
Well, it's the 24th.
Oh, it's
So
going to
that's
come out on
fine.
the 24th.
Yeah, we're consistent ladies also. Every
Oh,
Wednesday.
should we talk about Christmassy things?
I guess. Hope you guys are having a nice Christmas.
Hope you're having a nice Christmas. This is a Christmassy thing.
Okay.
Well, okay, this relates to the penguins.
Okay.
So, what was a gift or a thing that you liked that you got so much that you're like, I actually don't like this thing anymore?
Okay, I don't have that.
Go on.
But I do have, if I ever as a child, like, ate a food and was like, I somewhat am okay with this. I like this. My mother would buy 50 million. The amount of, you know, those little applesauce packets. I think one time I was like, this is nice. The amount of applesauce packets in our home was ridiculous. So it was like little things like that where it's like, and I don't know if you're like this, but like I can eat the same food every day for like months, but then I can like never eat it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really have that.
Like I think I ate a turkey sandwich every day for 3 years.
Wow.
For lunch.
See, with my mom, she's like, this is what you're eating, and I don't give a shit.
Right.
And I was like, fair enough, we're poor.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, we like this. She's like, that's nice. But with gifts.
Okay, yeah.
Mine was penguin stuff.
Okay.
So I liked penguins.
Right.
And it was just easy. Like, when people were like, what should we get Hannah?
Yeah.
And then everyone would just be like, get her penguin stuff.
Right.
But then it got to be a point where I'm like,
okay,
I
like
can't
I have
do
the
it
penguin
anymore.
Well, it reminds me of like, you know, the home makeovers where they'll like ask the kid what they
they're
like.
I rode a horse once, and they're like, she's obsessed with horses.
And the whole room is a horse.
Yeah, the whole room is a horse's ass.
Yeah.
And you're like living in it. You're like, all right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
anymore.
No, I don't know.
That is me and penguins.
Yeah.
And that was everyone in my family, because like we had a huge extended family, so you would be getting like 20 plus gifts, because even the cousins bought for each other, aunts and uncles, but like you're like, I don't want to spend more than a minute deciding what to get this person.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, oh, this guy likes this. This guy likes Ireland.
Yeah.
That's his thing. I'll get him an Ireland t-shirt. It was so garbage.
Yeah.
And my thing was penguins. So every year I would get 20 penguin gifts.
Yeah.
Until the point I was like, I actually hate penguins now, so you can never get me another one.
It's really hard now though, because my mom's always like, I want to like buy you something like nice or like that you'll use or whatever, but it's just like you just can't.
I know. My parents are the same way.
Yeah.
They're like, what's your Christmas list? I'm like, and literally my list is now like someone to paint my apartment, someone to hang shelves. Like I'm like, other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, or maybe like at this point like a new camera or something.
Yeah.
But then the camera I want is like super expensive.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, okay, just like honestly give me funds. Like I can't.
Yeah. I hear that. Well, that's what they always end up doing, because I'm like, just give me money and I'll go get my hair cut or something. Sorry this wasn't more Christmassy.
Yeah, no, that's
I feel
okay.
bad now.
Well, we already did our fuck, marry, kill with Christmas.
Yeah, we've been talking about Christmas.
I think anyone listening on this day is going to be like, yeah, I get it. It's Christmas. Do you know what I'm saying?
Maybe some people want to escape Christmas too. Because that's what we had with the political situation.
Yes.
People were like, I'm actually happy they didn't talk about it. So maybe people were like, ugh, enough about Christmas. Tell me about cold plunges and penguins.
Yeah. Do you think
Wouldn't it be fun? You know how they have puppy yoga? If they have penguin cold plunge.
Well, you know what I said? I was like, we should do comedy in the cold plunge.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Like struggling to breathe.
Kill Tony style.
Yeah.
Everyone's screaming at you.
Yeah. Heckling you.
Yeah.
You're like, I actually can't breathe. So you're going to have to stop heckling.
Do you think people on average are happier or sadder during the holidays?
That's a tough one. I would say sadder. I mean, suicide rates go up. Everyone gets divorced in January.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Everyone breaks up. I've been dumped twice on, I think, December 23rd.
Wow, wild.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was listening to another podcast or a clip, Jared Freed, being like, if you're with someone, once you go through the holidays, you're at a whole other level with them.
Yeah.
Like that, it all of a sudden makes your relationship like more serious, because it's like, even if you don't spend the holidays like with their family, it's still like another phase of life that you're with them. So it's like, I could see that time coming up And then like a guy being like, oh my God,
for sure
losing his mind because they're children.
And I'm also being like, well, like we're taking this to the next step.
Right.
We're a family now. We just did Christmas together.
Exactly.
So like that's my energy, and the guy's energy is like I actually want to
fuck
be single
other girls.
And just fuck anything that walks past me.
Well, then it's also weird because it's like, do you buy each other gifts? Because it's Christmas. Like, how long have you been dating? Are we just pretending that it's like not Christmas in this relationship? Are we in a relationship? Wow. Yeah. Twice on December 23rd.
I think. I don't even know if it was like dumping or a mutual breakup, but I remember twice it happened on that day, because I remember the second time it happened, I was like, what are the odds?
I think it's actually common though. Like I hear like a lot, as you said, a lot of breakups on like New Year's, because it's also a time to reflect, and like you're taken out of your everyday and you're like, what am I doing? What are my goals? I have this time off work. What's going on here?
Or people getting engaged and then breaking up in the new year. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, it's Christmas.
That's James Cummins' joke.
Yes. He got engaged because she was like,
you're gonna ruin Christmas.
She's like, well, she said, I'm gonna break up with you if you don't ask me to marry you on this Christmas. And he's like, I don't want to ruin Christmas, so he got engaged and then broke up with her in the new year. But yeah, I think both of my cousins got engaged like on Christmas or around Christmas, and I know so many people.
Yeah, because everyone's
it's life changing. So I would say genuinely, like, they're either sadder, or they're feeling a happiness that isn't necessarily based in reality.
It's like when you go on a vacation with someone, it's not real.
Yeah, and then in the new year, they're like, oh, actually, I was miserable the whole holidays.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, like, I thought people were, like, on average happier just because they get, like, time off work. It's like there's a festive season, but like I think it also makes people be like, oh shit, like I should be super happy because everyone's super happy. And in those moments, that's when it's the hardest to be happy, especially for me. Like summer's hard for me because everyone's like, be happy and enjoy and blah blah, and I'm like, I just want to be like chill. Like if I don't want to have a not good day, I want to be able to not have a good day. And Christmas is the same. It's like, be with your family that loves you and blah blah blah, and I can see how that can send people over the edge.
And yes,
Othership would hate this riff. They'd be like, what are you talking about? My family's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm in a cult of othership.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially when everyone else around you is seemingly happy. Yeah. They might not be.
Yeah.
But it's like seemingly, and then you're like, well, then what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And then you feel worse about yourself. I feel like that at Christmas, I think.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh my God, I'm going home to my family. And then you're like, oh, you're all happy family with your Christmas traditions, and I'm having issues with my family. And then it's like a whole thing, you know? Anyways, on that note, hope everyone has a really Merry Christmas today.
Hope you're all fake happy.
Yeah, don't be depressed. And if you are, just know that we're also depressed, so you're not
you're
alone.
Allowed to be depressed.
You're allowed to not have a good Christmas if that's what you're feeling.
Have the worst Christmas ever.
Honestly, have the worst Christmas you've ever had in your life. Thank you guys. Have a great week, and happy holidays.